Thanks for coming back
Hi.
to share with the audience. We ran a pod last week,
Yep.
and I didn't press record.
It's
That's
okay.
not the first time this has happened, and we were missing Mike. So
Yeah.
now we have Mike,
Welcome.
This
and
time
we
feels
definitely
right.
pressed record this time, like 6 times. So we're good to go. How you been?
Great. Busy. Shop's busy. Summer's busy. So it's nice to be back in the swing of things with just barbering and not have to worry about, oh, did I answer that school email? Did I answer that parent? Oh my God, permission slips.
So for context for the viewers watching, Cara is
Yeah.
a high school barber teacher. You're also a barber part-time, would you say?
Yeah, part-time.
Part-time, full-time?
Yeah.
It's like it doesn't stop?
It feels full-time in the summertime, but it's part-time.
What do you add hours in the summer? You work more?
Yeah, I do more days during the week in the summertime, but depending on where my clients book, I'll either come in the afternoons. If I have a full day, that's awesome. I'll come in, open and close. But I feel like they get used to the school time hours of 3 p.m. and on after the school day ends. So that's where my block is during the summertime until they realize I'm there in the morning.
Interesting. So, I mean, last time we had a great conversation. We covered a lot. I wish we could kind of pull some of that in and put it in here, and I'm sure we will. But I think what I'm interested in naturally, which I think the audience might be interested in, is that you have this perspective of young barbers. Like, you're teaching the youth right now.
Yeah.
So you get to see what they like, what they don't like, how they're dressing, how their hair is, and I think you have a really good perspective on the industry. I really do. So what do you see in the industry right now? Like, what are some of the things that you see that you like, and what are some of the things that you see you don't like in some of the culture of barbering right now?
Yeah, so I think being in the school environment, you're so excited to, as a student, grow up and be like, oh my God, I can't wait to get to X, Y, and Z part of my life. But staying with the teenagers and then also cutting teenagers, grown men, little kids, teenagers really control what the hairstyle trends are. So it's, who looks great on the soccer field, who looks great with a lacrosse helmet on, who looks great just in the hallways. And that kind of has a ripple effect almost. If it was, a popular kid haircut in high school, it's going to stay with them in college and so on and so forth. So I think that long hair, texture, scissor cut, crop, sea salt spray, texturizing powder, that's really popular. But then teaching students how to cut that, how to give their friends that haircut, they don't understand that it's a lot of scissor work. But when they think barbering, they think, oh, let me just get a T-outline or a clipper. I could just get a cape set up anywhere, but they don't understand that it's scissor work right now that they're demanding their barbers to do. So when it's them behind the chair, they're like, oh shit, it's not what I thought it was. So
Yeah, it's funny. I think Mike can speak to this too. We talked about this last time. It was I have this almost hot take about the industry where you don't need to pick up the clippers. You can be very successful and be very talented with just doing long men's haircuts.
Yep.
And like anything, it's a pendulum. It will swing, and I'm sure we're kind of seeing it. Guys are cutting their hair now short, but there's always going to be those longer haircut guys, and it allows you to be in the Hamptons and do what you do and never pick up a razor. What we do in here sometimes, it's almost like we're overdoing it, and you're in the Hamptons doing a service is probably less amount of time. And you're doing no clipper work or less clipper work.
Yeah, it's wild. I think looking at the industry, I think it's almost absurd for a barber to get into this industry and not understand scissor work because it's so popular right now. I think it's popular through our clients, but also it's popular through what's being shown to us on social media.
Yeah.
And what people are teaching. And all these funky, crazy styles it is a lot of scissor work.
yeah.
And like you said, I go to West Hampton and I maybe pull out my machine twice a month.
Yeah.
Maybe. And I think part of it is being exposed to it. If there's a young kid and he's barbering and he gets into a shop that's kind of just very cultured shop and they don't do that, the kid might not be exposed to it. So it would be hard for them to kind of relate to that scissor work, learn the scissor work, learn the scissor techniques. So I do think it's important to spread yourself out in the industry and learn every kind of technique there is, because why would I want to be in the service business and be able and say, you come to me with a hairstyle and I'm like, ooh,
Not
that
be able to do everything.
that scares me.
Exactly.
That scares me.
Yeah.
And I think that's why I kind of pushed my education more into like the salon world too. Like I went to beauty school and I learned,
That's cool.
you know, women's hair cutting, because it's like
Awesome.
I didn't want to be the guy that didn't know how to cut.
And he had a great
certain
mentor,
style.
this guy. He had a really good
did.
mentor.
Yes, he did. He did have a great mentor.
But so I feel like that's actually, it kind of leads me into this idea or this conversation that, and so for the viewers watching that don't know, I'm also now going to be a barber teacher.
Yeah.
Which is why we kind of took a break with the podcast for a while, because I wasn't sure really how to share information anymore. Because now I kind of got this microscope on me, right? Being a teacher, you kind of have to tighten it up a little bit. Yeah. So, well, that's like a whole nother thing. We'll figure that one out. But I guess just like advising these students to how to be successful barbers when I'm not necessarily sure you can be in every regard.
Yeah.
I know that you can be. I know that there's guys that are the 1%, and there's the J majors driving a Barabbas, and you know there's all the trickle down to that. But like, how do I teach these students, or how do you teach these students how to be successful when I only see the one way to do it, which is what we're talking about? And I know that there's different cultures, and there's Caesars, and there's all these different styles, right? So how do you advise these students to have a successful career? What is like your take on that?
So that's a big goal, huge goal. I think my first year teaching, I was getting really frustrated that I was explaining like sectioning or blunt haircuts in every way imaginable, but then you would see a group of kids that got it the first try, a group of kids where I would just have to go over, show them, and they were great, and then a group of kids that were cutting upside down backwards and it looked like they were just really going to give themselves carpal tunnel in a week. So it was hard because I skipped straight to that goal. How do I give them a great career? But it's baby steps before you get there. And it's really like you almost have to envision yourself as being a kindergarten teacher. You're not pushing the person in front of you in the time that you have them to be, you know, a speech writer. You want to make sure, can you spell? Can you sound this out? Can you do this? Can you build a sentence? Can you communicate how you're feeling? And those bite-sized goals I didn't understand I had to set for them and help them reach those first as like building blocks, where it's like, hey, this is how you hold a comb. This is how you palm a comb. This is how you hold a scissor. This is how you don't cut your soft tissue every single time. Like, this is how, exactly, the amount of scars, and it's crazy. And they always ask, why do I have to bring in Band-Aids as like a class supply? I'm like, you'll see. But shrinking your expectations in real life outside of barbering sounds horrible. Everybody says, keep that bar high. But when you're teaching, you have to make sure they hit those milestones, because if they don't, and if you don't focus on that and actively remind yourself, oh, let me see if everybody knows how to like, oh, what finger's in the finger grip, what finger's in the thumb grip, how far is it through? Like, are they putting their scissors down? Are they like those things? Then you can move on to what's your work ethic? What's your time management? What's this? Because if you're saying, hey, you got 30 minutes to do a blunt cut, but Jimmy can't even hold a scissor to get through the first guideline section, it's just, you're skipping around. So I found that to make sure they had a good career, find out if they're talented by doing small annoying tasks, find out if they're self-determined, find out if they're motivated, give them tests to see if they can interact with humans, because that's huge. So have them cut each other, have them cut complete total stranger students or staff members, bring them on field trips, those type of things that get them exposed to, oh, I have to physically touch a human that I'm not friends with yet, maybe, and see if that's their forte. Because the benefit of going to a BOCES where you apply, there's a vetting program, they're like, hey, I'm serious about this, please choose me, you already know who's passionate, or at least a step ahead. With our situation, and it's in class, in the building that they go to school, and to have their English, have their gym, have their soul studies, it's an elective for them. They could do it because maybe they vibe with the teacher. Maybe their friend's doing it. Maybe, oh my God, like my mom told me I have to do something and I can't have a lunch in my schedule, so sure, I'll do the CTE programs. So you have to see who's there because they're serious versus because they just want to know how to, cut their own hair or just have a ball with their friends. And you can use kids in one way or another if they're there just for, friends purposes. But before you even get to that massive goal of let me help this person succeed and build a shop or build something as great as this is, you have to know that they've checked off all the small boxes first. And that was something I did not get until after my first year, and all the frustrations of like, I thought it was me, but I wasn't focusing on those building blocks. I just skipped over them.
I think that was actually my biggest takeaway from our conversation last week, was because after we spoke, I started developing this curriculum and these objectives, and I'm hearing you say you're teaching them foundations. They don't all have to leave being as good as you are right away. Yeah. They just have to have like a breadcrumb of the idea that they can become that, and that you have to, I guess, guide them in that direction.
Yeah.
So it's funny, actually. I saw one of your students in the mall the other day.
Oh, you did?
Peyton. Shout out to Peyton.
Oh my God,
I really liked him when I went to your
awesome.
classroom. I noticed. I think he was a junior.
Yes, he's so talented.
And he came in the room, and just like his energy about him, it reminded me of me a little bit. Where I was like, he's like a, not the biggest guy in the room. And I'm like, he's gonna do well.
He's a leader.
Yeah, I could see it. So, and he was also at the Skills USA that I was judging. So I saw him in the mall, and I'm like looking at him. I'm like, I think it's him. And I'm with my kids, and he looks at me, and we give each other like a big dab. And I'm like, that's what I love about this, is that you really get to like influence these kids. Yeah, that's really powerful.
And you didn't spend a month with my students, and they're like, hey, is he coming back? That's cool. Like, what's his Instagram? Oh my God, look at his shop. Like, and it just trickles through. Like, they've landed on your page, they've landed on the hair salon's page. Like, and it does open a door that they may not know what's on the other side, but now they're fascinated. Now they're like locked in. So it is really cool.
Those basics, those foundations, I think are important. So out of your students, you teach 11th and 12th grade?
Yeah.
What is difficult about your job?
Okay, so we have 30 minutes. Difficult about my job.
Yeah.
The concept of being a barbering teacher, the difficult part is managing the entry-level talent. So day one, I kind of assess, like who's talkative first and foremost. Okay, cool. Put the talkative people over there. Quiet people will be more confident, asking questions, even if it's a whisper to someone who's more their energy level. But then when it comes to, having them trust me and having them understand, that Karate Kid build up, hey, this has a purpose, I also have to tackle the obstacle of me being a female. So if I took a step back from Monti's barbershop, I lose a little bit of that credibility in addition to being a female. So I have to be very careful with that line, where if I wanted to say, hey, trust me, I'm a barber, I do this, but then there's no barbering page, then there's no stories, and there's no employment, they're going to be like, who are you? Sorry.
You kind of got to
be talking about credibility in the industry a little bit, you're saying?
Yeah, credibility in the industry, who I know, because from the jump, I'm not like cutting hair right in front of them. I'll do like live demo Fridays and stuff like that. But
you kind of almost have to give them like an image of like, hey, I do this.
Yeah, like
I do this. I'm not just some chick teaching.
And it took a while because one, like blonde hair, blue eye, white girl coming into William Floyd, and they don't know me from the hole in the wall. And now they're supposed to trust me, who maybe there's a language barrier. Maybe, they've never had to listen to someone that has my personality. And now they suck at what I'm trying to teach them. So their frustrations versus the, almost pushback just because of who I am. Now it's like, okay, well, I'm not going to speak. I'll just show you. And I've learned that they want to see a resume. They don't want to read a resume.
Interesting.
So the easiest part of my job was also the hardest part of my job in the beginning, gaining that trust, because in the beginning I don't have alumni saying, yo, go take Miss Cliff's class, like it's sick, like she laced me up for like something like that. I didn't have that, so I had to almost work overtime. I was cutting kids nonstop and extra help. I was doing live demos all the time. If I saw that like they weren't really picking up something, I would be like, okay, pause on this. No matter where we are, tomorrow's live demo, who wants a haircut? So it's just, oh, okay, she knows what she's doing. And then I think I told you the example when I had a lot of pushback one year, and this one kid like just constantly being combative, like, I don't already know how to do this. Why do I need to do this? I set up a tripod, set up a mannequin. I said, okay, do a skin fade. And if you could do it, we'll move on. And he just could not do it. And I'm like, okay, well, it looks like we have to go back to blending, go back to layering. It's all like... So you have to almost I hate the word big dog these kids, but in the beginning, for me, it was the hardest part was staying professional and also letting them know I know my stuff. But that's not an obstacle you guys have because just male versus female. The obstacle will be helping them through their frustrations because they see someone and two professionals who are so successful, they don't see when you started out. So building that trust is the hardest part because they go straight to their phones when they're pissed off. They go straight to the, oh, can I go to the nurse? And they'll walk around for 30 minutes. So.
Yeah, I will say, I think it's very easy to do that thing. Like, kind of like be pissed and, you know, neglect it almost and get frustrated with it and almost quit.
Yeah.
Because I felt that.
Yeah.
It was like, there's this thought almost where it's like, I don't know if I could do this. Okay. And then I'm going to learn how to cut hair. And now I have to make a living out of this.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if it's going to work. So then that would just tremble on the frustration. And there was moments where I was like, shit, maybe I should just do something else.
Yeah.
But I think with this industry, it's something where people are like, oh, I could do that. Or, oh, it's easy. Just give me a quick haircut.
Oh, you had a client come in this weekend who tried to do his own haircut. Shout out to him. That was the funniest thing I've ever seen.
That was crazy, but it's like you need to big dog them a little
bit.
And be like, okay, do it. Here you go.
So I should bring my trophies in first day. You think I should just throw them on the table and just be like, rah, just growl at the class.
Just gradually start crowding the back of your desk. Be like, I don't know how there's.
It's funny because I think that's my biggest focus with this new job is like, what does the first day look like? What do the first 2 weeks look like? How? And I understand not being a father. What are you gonna say?
I was gonna touch on that because when he got this opportunity, you know, he's like thinking about, you know, Lion's Den and, you know, and you're like ready to change lives.
Right.
And even like, that's great. That's great. And you should want to do that. But at the same time, it's like, oh, these kids just need to learn the basics, the basic foundations. And you know how you learned, you know how you did it, you know how you built a clientele.
Yeah, but it was so, and this is kind of what I want to have Cara touch on is that the way that like I showed you barbering and the way that I've learned how to teach barbering is so different than the way you're teaching it in school. So you have like, explain for us, like break it down for us. You have an 11th grade and a 12th grade program?
Yeah, I have year 1, year 2 is how they've structured it all under the Milady textbook.
Okay.
The content that we cover is the exact same content that BOCES does in a full year.
Gotcha.
So James Ricciardo at Bellport BOCES, shout out James, he does my entire 2-year program in 1 year because he has kids for 3 hours a day.
That's what he was telling me.
Every day, which is amazing. And he steers it how he wants it based on his population, and so do we. And that's the best way. You kind of just like customize it to the group in front of you. But the way that Floyd has allowed me and supported me to structure it is the first year is fundamentals. They hate it, but it weeds out who's interested in it enough to stay if their friend got bored and is dropping. So it's fundamentals, it's the science, it's the sanitation, it's the angles, it's, you know, more of like hands-on learning projects with barbering. And then the second half of that junior year, it's, hey, our list of to-dos, the chart work that we call it, it's you got to do 5 shape-ups this quarter. Who's your clients? And now they're kind of like shaking a little bit. It's like, it's just a shape up, but 5 relationships need to be formed. 5 people need to trust you. And it's baby steps, because then senior year, I touch a textbook once, and that's to do the 14-stroke shave.
So who created these standards? You?
It's aligned with Milady's outline.
Okay.
And then we've had some inspiration from James. And then there's also, I think, like a secondary education barbering program somewhere upstate that we kind of like looked at, but it was a curriculum writing workshop with me, my chairperson, my assistant principal, that said, hey, what worked, what didn't, what serves our population. And then we kind of just really made it precise. And that was like year 3, to be honest.
Wow.
So
that's really cool.
Yeah, I'm sure it takes time to like mold the way you're gonna teach.
Because you don't know who you're teaching until you get there.
Yeah, that too.
And go ahead.
I think it's difficult. I'm sure you could speak on this, like different learning skills from different kids, you know, and kind of maneuvering the way you teach towards this person, this kid, but this guy's not going to get it, you know. So now you have to shift the way you're teaching something, so they can understand it.
And like, one of the hardest things to transition from probably your point where you're industry based and you're coming from that side of everything, which is honestly more beneficial than coming just from teaching. However, the teaching avenue, you know how to differentiate instruction.
Sure.
You know those resources, you know those books, you know those authors and theorists and those names, just to like quick Google, be like, okay, what did that article say that I read 2 semesters ago?
Mm-hmm.
That knowledge, which can be shared with you, doesn't match the same value as an industry background, but it is the key to like problem solving, if that makes sense. So it's like when you feel stuck coming from this avenue, you're like, all right, let me crack a book open that my mentor gave me or something. Oh, that's how you differentiate instruction. That's how you reach the non-English speakers. That's how you reach someone who needs hands-on visual repetition. And honestly, like my TA, Miss G, the kids call her, is amazing. I am very much my father's daughter, where it's just, hey, no nonsense. We're here to work. We're here, da-da-da. I have bad days. I leave it at the door. If you have a bad day, you need to let us know. You can't just use us as a punching bag. Because I'll leave you alone if you communicate with me, but don't sit there brooding with no context, because it's not going to come out of my patience bucket. It's going to be Miss G's going to deal with you. Maybe you'll go on a walk, and then after the class is over, she'll tell me something that I feel kind of like, oh God, like maybe I shouldn't have been a little bit, tough love that day on that person. But you have to build relationships in the door, and differentiating instruction and finding out what each person needs is like the key to that.
So you encourage your students to kind of communicate with you about how they're feeling and what they're going through?
Yeah. And it's like it feels different than how I was when I was teaching soul studies, because it's like, hi guys, welcome, grab the do now, get working to your desk, boom. All right, let's go over this PowerPoint. But then you're teaching a CT program. It's a barbershop. If my coworker feels off, I sense it instantly. To this day, like I'll walk in, a couple people can be cutting, one person can be like sitting, just kind of doom scrolling, but I see it in their body language. I see it in like how they said hi to me. So that's something that you learn in the barbershop, and I'm sure that you both have it. You pick up on students. Yeah, and it's weird. And it's like, I'll be like, hey, what's wrong? You okay? Do you want to go on like and I won't tell them, do you need a break? I say, can you do a side quest for me really quick? So all like these framings where you open that door, but it's almost like, hey, I need your help. Come over to the side. I need your help.
You're valuable.
Yeah. So then they're like, okay, sure, I'll help you. Now the conversation isn't what your classmates think it is. Now I could talk to you about whatever is going on. Or like, I'll give you the time out of the room because so-and-so's annoying you. Or your ex-girlfriend's in the class. Like, whatever it is. So that's the hard part.
That's a crazy one, that last one you said.
Oh my God, I've had multiple couples in the past 2 years that have broken up. And
oof.
The girls are so talented. So I'm like, hey, buddy, you're going to have to just move your station because she's killing it. So,
do you find that more girls are becoming interested in barbering?
It is so good, and it is booming because I'm just in everyone's face in school. I'm just like, I share the room with a cosmetology teacher. We have like a CT expo day where you basically like pitch yourself, like a tabling event, try to like hire new applicants. I always use my female students who are confident, because one, they're usually, the ones in class that are working hard, working off to the side, and the boys are just being boys. But it's like, I want to reward, hey, you chose this program, hey, you're working hard, hey, you chose something that may not have been popular to your friend group, and you're right next to your friends who are at the Cosmo table, and now people who are coming up to both tables see that, oh, barbering's not just for boys. And I didn't see that as much. I joined barbering because I just wanted to learn how to cut my dad's hair. I knew the teacher from my mom being his coworker, and it was something that I wanted to get into. But if I saw more female barbers, I wouldn't have been so hesitant to share that I could cut hair. I would have been like, yes, in the chair, like right away. So females are so detail-oriented that I've had in my class, whereas boys are like, trying to get them to just section a straight line. They're just punching the mannequin. It's different, but it's nice because now, I can't let a girl be like better than me. I have to do, she got the best haircut. oh, now I need. So it almost like.
Yeah, there's a little competitiveness.
Yeah,
in there,
it's cool. It's
which is
really cool
good.
to see.
I think it should be like that.
Interesting. So, I mean, selfishly, since we're on the topic, how do you keep your kids interested in the sections that aren't hands-on? Like, because that's what I'm developing this program. Like these kids are going to be a little bored for a little while. They're going to be like, teach.
You have to start dancing.
I'm going to have to start dancing, I think.
Oh, yeah.
I think
No,
I'm going to have to start dancing. Thanks, Mike.
I kid you not. I teach in a British accent.
What?
Yeah.
You do?
Yeah.
Wait, explain.
When I see, so my dad's from England, my family's in England and Ireland, and it just perks their ears up when I start talking in a British accent. And they're like, what? Because you see them falling asleep a little bit. And I'm like, okay, like, I tell them straight up, I'm like, I hate notes. I'm very all over the place, So to keep them awake and to keep them locked in and to make sure that they're like okay with laughing at me instead of laughing at so-and-so who got the answer wrong, British accent.
That's where did you develop this?
Where did I think about it?
Like, yeah, did this
just out of thin air? I actually know, like, honestly, to give Peyton some credit, Peyton imitates any accent known to man.
Okay.
So I was like, Peyton was in my class for the first time this year. I did the accents a little bit last year just because I was like, okay, nobody's talking. Like, I'm going to be Australian today. I'm going to be British tomorrow. Like, Peyton imitates stuff like a parrot. So I'm like, okay, we're going to go back and forth with this. And for a full day, I just taught in a British accent, and it worked.
That's so
We were
funny.
doing, what were we doing? Not history of barbering. History of barbering, they love. I have so many videos. They're like, what? We used to do, like, surgery? So they're locked in with that, but the one that really gets them like bored is
anatomy, physiology.
and physiology. So I do a lot of You know what I cheat code? I
Hello.
have literally, and then it's just so funny because I'm gonna pronounce the names wrong. I tell them, guys, I'm not a medical assisting teacher. This 18 syllable word, we're gonna say it in a British accent because I sound like an idiot. So that's a way to like get them kind of giggling and stuff, but hands-on for that, I have them shave mannequins because I usually do like intro to tools beforehand, so they're used to like seeing the wall senior, they're used to seeing the Oster 76, so I just have them shave mannequins. I'm like, okay, get ready for St. Baldrick's in a few months, and then those bald mannequins, I have them paint and label the bones and the structures and stuff like that. So like they're doing something, their hands are moving, they're getting like messy, they're like, it's teamwork. And then I'm like, okay, draw a shape up on your friend, but start on this bone. So I go from the mannequin and then to their friend with like just design pencils that wipe off. And I'm like, okay, as long as you're getting comfortable touching, that's the biggest thing. And like every Monday, I'll do Manicure Monday. So if you don't know what to do on your first day, talk about first impressions. Make everyone show you their hands. Because your hands are your business card.
I gotta cut my nails right now.
Yeah, like if you're a guy, look at your paws.
Are you sure?
No, everyone's like, wait, what? I'm like, you don't have to show your friend. Look at your hands right now. And I'll joke around. I'm like, are you gonna hold your girlfriend's hand with your cuticles looking like that? And I was like, are you gonna go pay for a bill across the table on a date? Are you gonna like? And they're like, oh my god, that's right. So now I'm like, all right, first impressions count. Like, let's take care of that. Manicure Monday.
Oh, I always think about that. I'm always cutting my nails and like making sure.
I literally driving here, I was like, I didn't cut my nails.
Yeah.
Damn.
It is a stressful thing.
Thank you.
They're in their face.
Yeah,
in their face.
Interesting.
And it's crazy because the toughest students come back a month later. Miss C, can we do Manicure Monday if it's slow? I'm like, yeah. And then they ask me to do clear polish. Oh, my girl liked that. And I'm like, okay.
So they do it on themselves or they do it to each other?
They do it both. They'll do it to themselves if they're quiet, but then to get chart work, instead of 5 shape-ups, I'll add partner manicure or something like that. And it's basic, like, I'm not asking you to just do a full gel set or anything like that. It's take care of yourself. Make yourself look clean.
And you've worked this into the curriculum?
Every year.
That's really interesting.
It's awesome. And I do it during the professional image unit.
I like that a lot.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm taking a lot out of your book, so we'll see what happens. I might just take your whole friggin' book.
Yeah,
but.
honestly. You can.
What do you feel like? What's the conversation like to the student or even the parent that's saying, I don't want to go to college. I want to be a barber. What's that conversation like? Do you hear a lot of that?
I hear I don't want to go to college a lot. I hear the combination of I don't want to go to college, I'll be a barber from less than half of my students because they know who's talented, they know who has a work ethic, and then I let them know up front because we used to take weekly field trips with the senior class to go to Monti's barbershop and shadow. They know that they have to sit in a dead shop up front. They know they are dependent on their friends or walk in traffic. So those people who are doing the work to build up their clientele, Snapchat, Instagram, extra help haircuts, like grinding, that's who will say both of those statements in the same sentence. And then I see it. I'm like, okay. And that's when I start calling barbershops for them. I'm like, hi, are you hiring? Hi, are you interested in an apprentice or you want fully licensed? What do you want? Making sure they have cars, making sure they have rides. Like, it's interesting to see who takes CTE barbering at William Floyd and then discovers, oh, I really like working with my hands. I have a student who is in or just graduated from the program, but he's like, hey, like, I love working with my hands, but I think I want to do HVAC. I'm like, awesome. Okay. If this is your entry into the world of skilled trades, absolutely use it like that. If it's going to be the kid next to you or the station next to you's entry level into, oh, I want to be a celebrity barber. Oh, I want to make connections. Oh, I want to do this. Oh, I want to do the competitions. I want to own my own salon or suite or something. That was what was in his heart to begin with. So sometimes you have a kid that has like an epiphany, like, oh, wow, like I'm good at this. I never thought that it would have turned into this career for me. But if I didn't have the, passion for helping people, I would never be in this position. Like, that was what barbering has become for me. It's like a vessel to help people. So if they want to be their own boss, if they want to be an entrepreneur, if they want to be creative and make themselves their brand because they've seen something that's inspired them or something that they can model, that's who in senior year, it usually happens around like October of senior year, where they did the basics, they arrive senior year, first month, I don't open a textbook. I'm like, okay, start cutting each other. Now, who practiced over the summer? Who was cutting? Who's da-da? You see almost like factions kind of separate. And not that I don't focus on everyone, but it's, I'll call you in and go talk to these kids. I'll ask Monti, hey, can so-and-so come shadow? I'll call up the guys in Riverhead who are asking for barbers. Hey, I have a great kid. If he wants to work. That's who resources are shared with pertaining to barbering industry. The kids who want to go into trades, I'll connect them with who they need to be connected with. So that's where I want to help people comes in. And then the kids who have gone on to cut in school and cut in their dorms, I still urge them to get their license because when I was cutting in the dorms, I had like the resident director come up and be like, hey, what are you doing? And I just slid my license across the table and he was like, have a good day. So I emphasize the importance of being licensed and taking it the most professional route, but you're going to have a kid who's passionate next to a kid that says, wow, I'm not as good as him, but I really love this program and I love what it taught me. I'm going to go do this because now I know how to talk to people. Now I know how to sell myself. Now I have an elevator pitch. Like, so it's cool.
And that's good. That's like a beautiful thing for you as well. Like you were just a piece in their puzzle,
Yeah.
And they found something else through that, and maybe it didn't go the way, in that industry, but you helped them. That's cool.
Yeah, it is cool.
Well, I think that's what I love about barbering, and I've seen clips about a lot of barbers or people that turn to barbering seem to like need it, or maybe coming from a rough spot, or maybe don't have a great mentors in their life, and there seems to be a commonality between barbers and like coming from not nothing, but you know what I'm saying?
I think it's a very old school way of barbering.
What do you mean?
Like, I need it. It saved my life. Like I was in a bad spot, and this thing, came to me. Like, it was like when I was growing up, it was like rockabillys and like guys like that.
Yeah.
Like, it was kind of like, I don't know. I didn't view it as like a very professional thing.
Yeah.
It was almost like if you were tattooed and in jail at one point.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Like this was a thing that you did.
Yeah.
Yes.
And when I kind of got introduced into the industry, it was like, I know what kind of barber I want to be. I've seen the rockabillys, I've seen the corner barbershops, I've seen the local ones, but I've also seen like these professionals, like
Sam
these
Rascals and Alexi
Sam
Michael.
Rascals and all this, and I just knew what vision I wanted to take on the industry, and being exposed to that and aligning with Chris, it was just like, oh, this is my guy. This is my guy. This is the vision I had, you know, and he was doing it. So it was a good, it was a great mentor to find and aligned with my vision.
But it's a perfect storm, I think. I think barbering right now, I mean, I've been doing it for 20 years. I started at 15, I'm 36, so maybe 21 years. And I mean, back then it was $11, $10, $12 haircuts. It wasn't a good idea to be a barber. Every teacher I had pulled me aside and said, Chris, you're going to not go to college. You're going to be a barber. And I looked at them in the eye like this, and I was like, like, I'm passionate, and I know I'm going to make it work. And I never saw the industry doing what it is now. I never saw like, oh, in a decade or two, I'll be charging a premium price, and it'll be just as expensive as a woman's haircut. I never thought that was capable or possible. Now that we're in that spot in the industry, it's very possible to make a great living just like a hairstylist makes. I mean, it doesn't come with insurance, and it doesn't come with the certain benefits that other jobs come. Even like the idea of your friends go to college and they go to finance. If they get a good job in finance, there's a guaranteed retirement track or education or wherever they're going to go. We don't have that in barbering.
No.
And I think that my take on this is that it is a young man's game or a young woman's game. There's a certain age you get to as a adult, and now that I am one, I think, where you're like, all right, well, what is next? What is that next stage of my life? And me being behind the chair doing 20 haircuts a day is not sustainable. So my price has to reflect that behavior. Okay, so then what is sustainable, and how do I grow this thing, and how do I make it work for my family? I think that's been the hardest challenge that I've had with barbering, which is why this teaching job is a blessing. Because it's going to give me all of those safeties, the structures to life. So I don't know. I just think the economics of barbering now is in a really good spot, and it should only get better, where people can become a great barber and successful on it and be able to provide for their families.
I agree.
Do you the reason why I say this is because you work in Monti's. Monti's is a very upscale barbershop. It's not...
Shout out to Monti.
Shout out to Monti.
One of the nicest shops on Long Island.
For real. And it's beautiful in there, and it attracts a certain clientele. It attracts a certain type of barber. Do you push your students to be like... to push them in those kind of shops and not the... rockabilly style kind of cultured shops because you've experienced and more. It's more than that. Like,
or is there something for everybody?
You could, I'm sure some of these kids will just end up at the corner barbershop, and that's what they're gonna do. But that up because I just that's the way I view it. It's like there's this other side of barbering. It doesn't need to be we got to cut 20 dudes in a day and work our ass off. You could actually sculpt this thing to kind of work for you almost. If you put yourself in the right positions, if you meet the right people, and you just have a good mentor.
I think, to touch on what you just said, it's a reflection of how much effort you're willing to put in. So the difference between an employee versus a business owner, the difference between someone who wants to learn versus someone who's closed off, that's it. Like, it's all based on someone's personality, and I push them towards what I know they will succeed in at the moment, and then where they go is their decision. So if I had to place students that just graduated, I would see, hey, what type of haircuts were you doing? How comfortable have you been when you're talking to adults versus kids? And then just how you carry yourself. Because I'm in Monti's Pink shop right now. It's very upscale. It's very like men's cigar lounge looking. The Center Merch's location where I started doesn't have that brown leather, dark ambiance with nice lighting, but it's still the same skill. It's still the same, level barber. It's just maybe someone's going to go in there right after the beach, and maybe we're going to have more student ties. Like, can you talk to those people that are attracted to that visual space? So based on your personality, based on how you carry yourself, do you push back when I say, hey, no joggers? Like, that's like, I have students who, like, I have a strict dress code. Whether they care and respect that enough determines if they follow it. I have students that are like, why can't I wear Crocs? Why can't... Sure, go work in a Croc barbershop. I can't communicate.
You'll be a Croc barber.
I can't communicate that and the importance of professional image any more than I already do. You're not coming on field trips because you're reflecting the school and you're reflecting me and the program. If Crocs are more important to you, stay in school, like in our high school building. don't come with us, because everyone else is doing black or closed-toed shoes or whatever. They know why that's important. I'm also not going to put the croc barber in a Monty's Yap Pink. I'm not going to put the croc barber in this gorgeous space. I'm going to say, hey, do you want to go shadow in maybe a Main Street walk-in, a little bit slower? I started at Top Hat in Sayville, and that's more like foot traffic. So not that it didn't matter what I look like, it was just they didn't have an online presence, a following, the reputation, this. They didn't have identifiable barbers where if we're out at the bars like we talked about, now everyone's like, oh, this is my barber, da da. So it's like a different level of expectation, and where they plant themselves is where I'll realistically push them, because if you're not willing to button up, I'm not putting you at that shop. I'm not calling that owner. It's embarrassing. I put my name on a kid at Monti's a couple of years ago, and it was a really busy spring at school, so I had to take off like a week just to like get some stuff done after the school day ended. And I assumed, oh, okay, so-and-so is going to be there. And then when I went back and I said, hey, how's he doing? They're like, oh, he no-showed. What do you mean? I'm like, what? So I'm very careful now who I put my name behind in those upper level shops.
Yeah, it represents you.
Yeah.
I think it's an important part of the conversation, because we're all coming from a vantage point of, like, we talked about the golf course that you work at. Like, you got guys that are giving you hundreds like they're 20s.
Yeah.
So you know that, and me and Mike know that when all I do is touch a scissor, the guy does the same thing. I can charge $60. He gives me a 20 like it's a 5, and I'm getting $80 for a haircut.
Yeah.
Like. Then you have these young guys who are the croc barber, who are maybe go do 20 haircuts, and to their credit though, it is about your journey. I started in a place like that, and I kind of got myself out of it to know where the value was that I wanted to offer, and where I was going to feel like I was valued. So how do you not?
That was perfect. You said that perfectly.
Thank you, appreciate that. I'm still a little tired, but I just think that how do you not share this like gold with these kids? Like, hey, listen, you could do it this way and you could be extremely successful, or you could do it your way, and everyone should do things their own way. But how do you see that? Like, you work at the golf course.
It's really hard because I've had like butting head arguments when I first started working at the school, when I would go back to the barbershop and I'm like, oh guys, like maybe I wasn't in a joking mood, maybe I didn't turn on that or turn off the professionalism switch to like banter a little bit. And then people kind of get a sense like, oh, you're better than us now. Like, so I feel like I really try to push professionalism up front, because you don't know whose dad is wearing Crocs in the barbershop. You don't know who's whatever. Like, I don't want to offend anyone. I don't like not that I care about offending people, but like I don't want that conversation where I have to explain to someone the value of being professional, the value of knowing your value and giving a service that should be valued across the board. It's like if they weren't taught that before they arrived in your classroom, I can only bring them so far to that concept. So like I posted on our barbering Instagram page, like, I forgot, it was like a meme. It was like, yikes, like still cutting without a license, just to try to like generate like, my alumni to come and interact with the page again, because I was doing a workshop on, hey, every single step on how to sign up for this license test. I rented out a room in our public library. I printed out everything. I had every single resource. I had computer access. I had only current students and like 3 alumni sign up. They showed up, they did this, they're moving forward with it. I've lost touch with them, but it's like I can only bash the unlicensed barbers to a point before they start saying like, oh, you're looking down on us, or you're doing this. But it's like, are you going to go drive your car unlicensed, or are you going to do it the correct way? And I always ask kids, I'm like, are you going to trust your friend who's unlicensed to drive your car on a road trip, or your friend who failed their driver's test? Or are you going to go with someone who took it serious, who has insurance, who has protection, like all these things? So it's like I try to push the respect the industry, get the license, become a licensed barber so much. But then I've realized that like someone knows an unlicensed barber, someone related to an unlicensed barber, someone's older brother that took the program still hasn't gotten their license. Now they think I'm smack talking him. I'm like, no, but it's a little silly because I go through everything. I hand feed you everything your senior year, and I'm willing to stay after on my free time and over the summer and on my nights where I don't need to be working to help you sign up. And you're like, no, it's okay. So that's when I see who's dedicated, who's passionate, who wants my help, or who was just doing it to learn a skill, and that's where they'll stop.
It's interesting. The license piece is interesting to me because my license lapsed at one point in my career, and I let it lapse for way too long.
Did you have to retake the test?
I had to go back to barber school, and I never went to barber. But this is what was so cool about this opportunity is I never went to barber school. I was an apprentice barber.
Okay.
So I didn't know how to pass the state test because it's all procedure. You know, it's not really what we do behind the chair.
No, it's not. You're never going to shape up with scissors. So.
Right. Long story short, I let it lapse for a little while, and that was probably my biggest worry around that time in my life. Like I was extremely worried about it because I was waiting for someone to come in, and like there was that whole thing, and then there was this lacking opportunity. Like years ago, I spoke to Monti on the phone about becoming a barber teacher, and it was when my license was lapsed. And I just remember being like, "Oh, it's a dead end for me right now because I can't do anything.
Back.
You can't move anywhere."
So now that and it's so cool about how you're never ready for the things until you're ready for them, kind of thing. Like I have this job opportunity now because I was ready for it. I got my license and I'm ready. If I didn't have it, there's no shot. So it kind of can keep doors closed, I guess. Is
Absolutely.
What I'm saying.
Yeah.
So I do agree with that. And when I didn't have it, I was like, what's the difference? You know, I'm still a good barber.
Exactly.
I know how to be clean, but it does. I guess it lowers your opportunity.
Yeah. And like, I didn't know that to teach a career and tech program in New York State, you hold the barber license specifically for 4 years. And then you're good. You can teach. If I didn't get this right out of high school, like I graduated high school June, my barber test was August, got it in the mail October. If I didn't hold on to it, renew it, do this, those 10 years, 12 years now passed so fast. But like when I was applying for jobs for teaching, I only was certified in social studies. And everyone tells you when you're becoming a teacher, when you're in those master's programs, add more certifications so you're marketable. Do TESOL, which is multiple languages. Do special ed. Do this. And I was like, I don't have another subject that I would be comfortable teaching for 30 years, so I'm just staying social studies. So shout out Mr. Felicetta at Floyd. He was like, you can be certified and teach barbering. You have your license for 10 years. And you've been in barbershops on like record of employment, all those things for more than enough time. And I had no clue. But if I stayed unlicensed, that opportunity never would have came. I'm in the teachers union. I'm in the retirement program with my barber license. I have student loans for a subject I'm not teaching and don't plan on going back to because kids don't enjoy it. Like, I love history myself, but the way the United States is trending, you need to learn a skill. Like, you need to learn something that is marketable, that provides income, that keeps you financially secure. And if I stayed unlicensed, like a lot of these kids are doing because they're comfortable, that door, it would never have opened for me. And I tell kids that all the time.
Amen. Yeah, no, I think it's unique, and even like my position in this, it's like I'm coming back to this thing 20 years later, and I'm going to teach in school. I hated school.
Yeah.
I thought it was prison. I really did.
No, literally.
I thought school was prison. I thought it was the same thing. But in reality, it was just showing me how much I loved what I was going to do. Yeah. So I needed that prison feeling. And it's funny when I got hired at this job, the hardest thing for me to do was to prove my employment. Everything else, all the tests that I had to take that we talked about, that I was like, I don't know how to take tests, did it
easy.
Trying to get them to see that I was employed for the past whatever years was hard because of I've been self-employed, I've changed corporations and all. So it was actually funny that was the hardest thing for me to prove.
I know, and it's
self-employment.
They make you jump through all these loops, and then you send that final piece of paper, and they're like, "Okay, you're good. Actually, everything's fine."
You're just like, look at this haircut.
Do you see my trophies? Look at the haircut.
Let me fix your
Can you call Mike?
Now.
Ask Mike. He'll tell you I can do it.
Do you want my Instagram? No.
Right? Yeah. So there's a lot here. We talked a lot about the students. What do you see that pisses you off about barbering right now in the students?
It's an ego game. It's a big ego game, and the students are watching videos and thinking like, oh, I should be able to do that. He did that in 3 minutes. I just watched that. Or a TikTok 7-minute thing or a 7-second thing, and they're like, oh, I should be able to do that. The barbers on social media have built their platform on, followers, engagement, quick way to do this, da-da-da. But when it comes down to like entry level, it hurts them not seeing where those people started, because I'm dealing with who picked it up from the jump, who can't. I sucked. I was not even top. I had 10 people in my barbering class when I was doing it. I was not top 6. Like, if I even was exposed to half of what they're exposed to right now, I would have put the clippers down. Like, I was good at scissor work, so I just kept doing it. I was like, okay, if I can do this, I'll figure out clippers. Like, I'll find a way to do that. I'll just cut old people until I can figure it out. But like, the ego of the industry. Oh, I'm not ready to compete, so he's better than me. Oh, I can't, afford my own clippers. I'm using class equipment. Like, there's so many things that knock people down from just a starting line where I have to combat it. And I have to say, like, hey, like, I've really, really dug deep into my, like, Google photo drive to see some of my first haircuts, and I print them out. I'm like, this is my first skin fade. This is when I totally chopped my mom's hair off by accident. Like, this is where I started. So I appreciate people who have those origin stories on display just as much as their, current. Like, I used to work with a guy at Monti's. Now he's doing his own thing, Cecil. He always reposts the same thing. First ever haircut on this guy when he posts the client as they come in. They're like, longtime friend. James does it too. He shows, this is what I did to my friend. He trusted me. Now I don't even charge him for haircuts because he was one of my day ones. That ego of, yikes, Derek's better than me already. I'm just going to put it down. That sucks, because you don't know who's going to be great once it comes to like incorporating scissors and this. Like, I have students that just give up during the scissor unit because the mannequin hair is so long. You got to start with that. And then they are slow to pick up the clippers because they're having a temper tantrum, for lack of a better word. It's like, oh, you sucked at that? Okay, try something else. Like, they really get stuck because of that ego aspect of the industry. And not as many people highlight where they started anymore. It's all about, like, what you can offer right now. So in a way, like, I try to find them mentors that are humble enough to be like, yo, I suck too. Don't worry about it. So I always talk about things that I've messed up. It makes them feel comfortable. So combating that ego is a worst part. Yeah.
I think I had a thought of when you were saying the kids like watching these clips and they're like, oh, this is, I could do this. And, they think, and it's like, you might be able to do it. You might be able to do it, but do you understand it?
Yeah.
And I think that's a whole different ballgame. And I think fades are different from scissor cuts in this aspect. Like, you could almost see a fade and just like see what happens in it. But a scissor cut is
a
like
map.
How did he get there?
Yeah. Yep.
And you could watch somebody, but why is he taking a diagonal section?
Yep.
Why is he pulling it 90 degrees out?
What does it do?
Why is he, and when you understand, like, preserving length and all this angles, it's a different ballgame.
Yeah.
It's a way different ballgame.
But it makes it fun. I think that's why I love the scissor cut game, honestly, right now, is because I'm 20 years in and I'm still learning.
Yeah.
I'm still going, like, I'm cutting my son's hair last night on the porch and my girlfriend's watching me and she's like, why are you doing that? And I'm saying the same things. Oh, well, I pull my hand out this way, it preserves length at the bottom, and it's fun for me.
Yeah.
After a while, like, doing the same thing over and over again, you get a little bit jaded. And even on I know it's funny, like, I taught Mike how to cut a beard by never teaching him how to do a beard. I never once said, Mike, this is what you do. Yeah. I just did it. And if you can't see it, you're screwed.
Yeah.
That was kind of my school of thought. But now I have to reiterate that and break it down into steps. And thanks for ChatGPT.
Get like the crayons and stuff.
Oh, thanks for Claude.
Wait, actually, you want to know something? I don't know how. I honestly, shout out to my mom. She's an art teacher, 31 years graphic art design teacher. She really emphasizes the artistry of barbering whenever she, like, we're out and we're like, oh my God, look at that, look at this. And to help students find out what works better for their brain, I have them with a single crayon have a gradient change going down or going up. And it's like the hardest color has to be, or the hardest pressure is up top. So you go darkest to lightest. And then you swap darkest to lightest, same deal, or darkest to lightest up top still. But you start lightest and you apply pressure. And then whatever gradient looks smoother, that's how you should cut hair, either cutting down or cutting up.
That's a very interesting approach.
I did not click with that until my mom mentioned, oh, like, if you can't paint a sunset, try going bottom up. And I was like, sunset's kind of like fading, actually. Let me try, da-da-da. Boom.
That's really cool.
This past junior year, I did that for the first time. Their fades looked so good. So I'm actually very excited to keep doing that.
That's really interesting. You should see my books from high school. Every page was like I would draw a haircut on it.
Something.
And shade like the taper. I would like soften it with
with
the eraser. I loved it.
Because if you can't see that there's a line in a sunset, oh, pink doesn't just start right there. How am I going to explain to you how a taper should look?
That's very interesting.
So
I like that.
Looking for lines in a haircut is the same thing as blending out a sunset and painting. Shout out my mom. I never clicked on that, but everyone has taken an art class. Start there. If they can't draw a sunset or a blend of a singular color, just applying lighter or more pressure, it's going to be hard for them to point out the lines and then use the problem-solving techniques that you teach them to get them out. So it's like identifying the lines in haircuts is like another building block I didn't even know that I was skipping over.
That's really cool. The first day of school, these kids are going to think I'm nuts. I'm going to talk in a British accent. I'm going to be like, we're going to do sunset.
Grab your brushes.
That was one of like the few things starting out that I was like really worried about. Like I was like, oh shit, am I going to be able to see it? Like,
That's
do
the
I
whole thing.
see it?
Yeah.
Like, when am I going to do a good haircut and like feel confident about it?
Yeah.
You know? And I used to have doubts and
Yeah.
maybe I won't. I don't know. You know, and then, you know, that fades away and you just get better and you see it. And then you do that one. I remember that one haircut that I did and I was like,
What was the haircut? Who was it on?
I got it. I think it was Jake Telenius.
Oh, I do remember what you were talking about.
I think it was like,
Skin fade?
I got it. Yeah.
Yeah, where you're like, click, not even going to stare at the picture, post.
Yep.
I think that's why, and I'm like watching you talk, and Mike's like a really good reminder to me of what this industry can do for people. Like this guy's first day on the phone with me at 20 years old, now you're 26, we FaceTimed on the phone, and he was like, I'm not really that comfortable talking to people, right? That was like what you were saying.
Exactly.
Fired.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't know about this guy. So somebody who was not comfortable talking to people, and he could kind of see that I was very outgoing and talking, is now like, I mean, I think when your skill develops and you kind of even in like to that skill is when it gives you confidence. Like it's like, oh, I can do this and I can hold any conversation with anyone because I know what they're asking me to do.
Yeah.
I know I can do for them. So I think it's cool to see the confidence that you've developed through the industry. And now when we go out, this guy talks to more people than I do.
Yeah.
So it's pretty cool. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe I don't know what that's about.
Well, I think with the industry, it exposes you and it almost forces you. You know?
Yeah.
Like, on that call, I'm like, you know, I like this thing, but I got to have a random person sit in my chair that I'm touching their face.
Yeah.
And now I have to talk to them for however long the haircut is. It's like, holy shit, you know? But once that leaves and I think all of the thoughts, like, you're trying to figure out how to do the haircut. You're trying to figure out how to keep a conversation.
Yeah, are they going to like me?
Yeah, do they like me?
Yeah.
Am I hurting them? Am I holding their head too tight? Like all.
Am I stealing money from them, or do they feel like they're giving me the right amount? Like
exactly.
Yeah.
So it's like when you start to I know how to cut hair. Boom, that's gone. You know, I don't have to think about that anymore.
Exactly.
Now it's just like being a person and having this. It's almost like creating a relationship. We have a buddy, Joe. He just posted something on Instagram about like creating.
Shout out to Joe if you're watching.
Shout
this.
out
He's
Joe.
not, so screw you.
But he was saying how the best salesmen are not the ones that kind of like pitch themselves. It's the ones that build relationships and are personable. And that's what I feel like we do in here. It's like this.
But it's our biggest problem with what we do is I never go out and say, hey, you should come to me and get your haircut.
Yeah, we're the worst.
Don't do it.
Yeah,
I used to do it. When I was in high school, my friends used to call me the mayor. Everywhere we would go, I would have to talk to somebody. Like either I knew them from the barbershop or I wanted them as a client. Now it's gotten to the point with my price. That's like the first question people ask. How much do you charge? And then immediately I'm getting a no out of that.
Yeah.
So the way that I've built my clientele is just focusing 100% on the client so that when they walk out on a 360 degree, everyone could see that their haircut was great. No one saw how long they sat. They just saw how great the haircut was. And then they go, oh, how much did you pay? Oh, it was really worth it. So it's the long game. I don't recommend that you do that. Yeah, I could ask for more referrals probably, but we never go out. And Mike probably does the same thing. And I'm like,
I'm not handing cards out. Like,
No.
If anything,
maybe I should.
No, if anything, I tell people I'm a barber, and they like think that I want them to come to me. I actually don't necessarily even want everyone as a client. I'm just, you asked me what I did.
Absolutely.
So I think that is kind of the hardest part now.
I think there's also two parts to it,
and
we could bring it back to like personal image, but it's the haircut that is a representation of you that will referrals and oh, this guy, oh, where'd you get your haircut, you get clients through that. But the second part is your personal image. Like when we go out, it's like guys, it's something
stylish,
about it. You look good, your beard, something.
It's intriguing.
It is. It's like the personal image that you brought. It's like it makes the person want to kind of come to your shop and see the vibe. What do you got going on? You know?
Yeah.
It's not almost, the haircut.
Yeah,
it's like
not.
Who I am and being personable and kind of like.
Yeah.
There's like a skill level. I think it's like sometimes our $60 haircuts are probably very similar than the $20 haircuts on the block. Probably not that much different if you look at them, but the experience is a whole different experience. And I know that that's the truth of what we do, which is why I love what we do, because I don't need to worry about what those guys are doing. You know, what we're doing here works just fine. And whatever works for these people works just fine.
Yeah.
So I think kind of bringing it full circle, you're talking a lot about like mentorship and like people finding the right people to expose themselves to. I remember when I came to your class, one of the things I said was like, raise your hand if you know who I am. Because I knew nobody would know who I am. And I've been doing this forever. I feel like a grandfather at this point. And I make good money doing it, and I don't need them to know who I am.
Yeah.
And like that has nothing to do with that. It's a totally different game. But everyone in my neighborhood knows who I am.
Yeah.
So like that's what matters the most. And it seems to be when I speak or when I think about this industry or when we do this podcast, I'm thinking about those kids. I'm thinking about the 16-year-old, 17-year-old, and the Peytons and the people that are going, I want to watch that. I want to pick up some free game from the people that he's talking to and my teacher. And so like that's actually what matters to me the most is that there's an underserved community because everyone's good.
Yeah.
Everyone's doing 90-degree elevations and whatever the hell you want to talk about. But like it's not that relatable because I suck, these young kids.
Yeah.
So I don't know. That barrier to entry seems big. And that's the space I want to fill. I don't know.
No, it is big. And honestly, giving them like the soft skills that come with the technical skills. They don't get that from a class that's telling them sit down, raise your hand, like follow this read along, do this math problem, hand in this assignment on time. They're not getting the enriching experience that a barbershop setting gives them. Maybe they've never even been to a barbershop setting and felt comfortable talking. And that's when like you kind of tap into like the social emotional aspect of building a community based on like feeling good about yourself, helping other people feel good about themselves, and just giving them a service where you feel valued based on their reaction to your work as well. So it's like, what don't they get and what can you provide? And that perfect like crossroads is where a barbershop program really is.
What's your favorite part about what you do?
My favorite part is the St. Baldrick's events. My absolute favorite part is my ability to use everyone's skill level, no matter where they are, to make kids who are going through chemotherapy feel comfortable. And I didn't really know the gravity of it until my family friend was affected. And, I was doing the St. Baldrick's events and he was like, wow, like I'm bald too. That's so funny. Like they look crazy. I was like, oh, wow. I was never in the patient's mind before. This was just like a raffling thing, a fundraising. It almost was like a game, and it was like which carpentry student wants to shave their head or get a buzz cut or something. But I did not see the importance until I had someone on the receiving end of that support in my circle. And now I get like kind of choked up about it, but it's just like, there's a girl that we still are doing the events for. Her mom works at the elementary schools, and it's like we're all Raina's warriors. We're all doing this. Raina, when we first started the event, she was losing her hair. It was really bad. She was really fighting hard, and now she's like, her hair's longer than mine, beautiful. The energy is back up, but we're still inviting the Stony Brook doctors in. We're still writing cards to the kids. We're still doing those St. Baldrick's events because if a kid is on that line of, do I continue barbering or not? I suck, my skills. Everyone can make someone bald. So that's why I always tell them, hey, like, I'll bring the quiet kids to the St. Baldrick's events. I'll bring the ones that are like kind of shy, second guessing. I'm like, you see the assembly of like third graders on the ground screaming and cheering as you're just making someone bald, giving them a bald spot, which barbers are taught is a bad thing. Your minimal skill to make someone bald and just shave them, but the reward is so big. So it attaches them to that community where they didn't know that barbering had that side of it. They didn't know that November is Movember, men's mental health. They didn't know that there's a whole international movement of growing mustaches to spark that conversation, and using barbering as a entry-level skill to community service is the best part about my job.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
I have two last questions. Mike, you might have some. And it's selfish because I'm asking myself this question.
Yeah.
You are young.
Yep.
And you're a lady in the industry. How do you see retirement as a teacher? Do you see yourself being a 60-year-old teacher for these young barbers to come up, or do you see yourself kind of getting higher in the food chain of schools and having more effective change? Like, what do you see for your career?
I realistically, if I had a perfect world, William Floyd's getting a massive extension, so we're going to be hiring a second barbering teacher soon once it's built. I want to pass off the program to someone who's been in it. So if it's two of my past students, one of my past students, and someone else, like, that would be great for me. I don't think that once I meet someone, once I enter motherhood, once I whatever, I'll be in the barbershop as much. And then I start to lose that credibility. So at that 10-year mark, or whenever this extension is built, maybe I going to a chairperson's position where I can help them get the resources, help them like improve their programs, and let someone else be, hands-on with the students, taking what I've learned, like what benefits the students, and kind of working behind the scenes for them. I don't see myself being the 55-year-old teacher in the barbershop classroom. It's not like, my legs are going to give out before that. Like, it's going to be so bad. Walking around that tile with no fatigue mat hurts.
Interesting.
So get good shoes. I bought fatigue mats or anti-fatigue mats for all the stations because that's something that I did not anticipate, how much of a difference it is standing in one spot on the anti-fatigue mat in the barbershop versus doing the same thing for longer, walking around helping kids, shifting my weight a little bit because so many different chair heights. It hurts. So on the body, it's taxing. So if I can serve the program at an administrative position, I would love to do that as well. But yeah, it's tough from a female perspective because it's like the credibility of cutting hair comes with working in the barbershop after school, but I can't be, if motherhood's for me, if I don't know what my life's going to look like when I find the husband that wants kids or doesn't want kids or whatever. But if it's my kids, I want to be with my kids. So that's a toss-up. So at that point, I can help make the program the best it can be behind the scenes, just as my chairperson has, because she listens to us. And I have the knowledge of what works, what doesn't, what they need, and I can help whoever's teaching it. So
I think you'd be perfect for that.
Yeah, that would be really cool. That's something I would want to do.
And you kind of touched on it before with the events, and we talked about it on our last time here. What is your advice to an up-and-coming barber? What would be your advice?
Donate your skills and donate your time, whether it's to veterans, whether it's to first responders, whether it's to underserved communities, sensitive populations, people who are going through chemotherapy. No matter what your skill is, they appreciate the time that's given to them one-on-one. They appreciate the free haircut. They appreciate someone asking them about themselves. Like, one of the most rewarding parts of being a barber is offering, a haircut to someone. I'm getting choked up. Offering a haircut to someone who's going to a funeral the next day. Like, it's hard. So
it's okay.
Good
yeah,
question.
I think I thought about it too, and it's like, if I were to give advice, it's using your skill to create beauty in someone, and like I'm gonna curse, like fuck the money, fuck
No,
the
literally.
fame, fuck the social media followers, like fuck all that. Like when you see someone that's in need of just getting a haircut and looking good and feeling good, that's
Yeah.
the reason why I do it.
No, literally, like, great question, Chris.
Sorry, I set this up.
You said this out.
Sorry.
He's a closer.
He didn't get it the first time.
Yeah.
So.
Great question. Let me think about it.
Why do you think it affects you so much?
I think it affects me so much because it's like, what else can you offer someone? Here's my time. Here's my conversation. Here's my skill to help you. I don't want anything in return. Like, I've given away so many, like, haircuts. I've covered it because in the conversation that I'm having with them, they're like, I'm burying my wife. I'm burying my 10-year-old kid. Like, it's hard. So it's like, if paying for a haircut or not paying for a haircut improves your day, I'm going to do that for you. So it's like,
That's beautiful.
Absolutely.
Thank you for sharing that.
Never mind.
And I really resonate with that. And I think that sometimes it's why I get frustrated is that I give my all doing this thing.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm getting money that I want to get back now, finally. It used to piss me off because I was doing too much. And now I think it's at
Yeah.
an even playing field. But yeah, I think we give a lot. How do you turn it off when you leave school and you have like 20 students that are having their own lives and some of them have bad lives? Like, how do you turn that off when you go home?
you don't. You really don't. But, like, you're a dad, so you can understand,
Drink.
like...
No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. Well, on the weekends, tequila. No, I'm just kidding. I always joke around. Like, I'll always joke around with them, and my age helps. Like, I'm not, the same age as their English teacher. I'm not the same age as their, some other teacher that's cranky during their day. So I could joke around and be like, all right, it's Friday. Like, Miss Cliff's going to be outside. Nobody go to this town. Like... I had a student a couple of years ago whose family lived in Long Beach. I said, I go to Long Beach all the time, like, just to joke around. So now they see, like, you do have a life outside of this. You have bad days, but you could also kind of, like, you choose who to surround yourself with to decompress or whatever. But you don't turn it off. I still have, or I can't. So I can't speak for everybody. I can't turn off the connection that I have with students. If they text me, if they message me, if they email me, saying, hey, like, can you help me with something? Yeah, absolutely. So it's like what I can offer someone who respected me enough to build a relationship with me doesn't stop at your graduation day. It's a heavy thing to carry, and my family tells me all the time, like, you're spreading yourself really, really thin right now. My coworkers are like, you do, like, a lot that you don't really need. Like, you have teachers that see the benefit, that do the extra stuff, that say, hey, I'll do X, Y, and Z, but that's it. But it's like, I really have a hard time saying no because I know what they are going through. I know who's at home. I know who's not at home. I know what they need. I know what they vented about. And it's crazy because, as you guys have seen, that barber chair opens up everything. The second you sit down, I'm a therapist. I'm a mom before I'm a mom. I'm a freaking... I don't even know, like, life coach, a mentor, big sister. Like, it's crazy, and it's hard to say, no, like, you're on your own.
Yeah, I think I think I'm gonna wind up adopting a couple kids.
I say that all the time.
They're gonna be working in my barbershop.
Literally, yeah.
But no,
it's hard. It's definitely hard to turn off. It's like even when somebody texts you for a haircut and you're not you might not be working that day. It's like, I can't say no.
I'm doing a haircut in an hour. I'm off today.
It's like it's
literally.
very hard.
Yeah.
But that's what we do, and I do enjoy it.
Barbering is also like an industry where you're constantly doing things for other people. You're constantly making them feel good. You're constantly doing things. Yep, they're paying you for your time, but it's like we're providing nonstop. We're providers. Personal enhancement so it's hard for us to shut that off. And I feel like teaching is going to give you even more insight because you're with the same kids for more than 30 minutes, an hour a day, and it's like, oh, okay, yeah, like it's so difficult to say where that line is that I no longer offer sympathy.
Yeah, it's gonna be hard.
I think as barbers, or just the service industry, we are doing so much for other people, and I think that's why me personally, like, and I'm sure you agree with this, that's why my schedule is built like this.
Yeah.
Because I am giving my all to other people.
Yeah.
I do need, my morning to kind of take care of myself.
Yep.
So I could show up for all of you.
Yeah, taking care of yourself.
Yeah.
Exercising, I think, is a huge part of that.
Yeah.
Just letting the mind go and taking care of yourself, doing something for yourself. I crash out once a week.
Same.
Once a week, I'm like, I didn't do enough for myself. My house is a mess. My car's a mess.
Yeah,
I didn't meal prep. Like when I'm in that spot and I have to come and be like, hey, how you doing? Oh, how's your life?
Oh, yeah.
It's hard.
Yeah, so
Definitely.
it's so,
Very
and
hard.
like, not that they don't care, like not to put a blanket statement on clients, but it's like, when was the last time a client said, hey, how's your day?
No, every time
Hey.
someone reaches out to me is because they want a haircut. No one's like, yo, how you doing?
Like, okay, got
Yeah.
it. Like, got it. All right. Like,
We don't just cut hair.
exactly.
But we also, I think
We
that's
got life. I'm going through shit right
that's
now.
what
Literally.
we love about this space in particular.
Yeah.
And it's gonna be a hard time for Mike and I to ever like not be here, is because that's what we do. We have guys that have become best friends because they're
Yeah.
clients and they
Yeah.
stay here. Shout out to Joe. He talks all day and he'll be here. He'll just sit
we
here.
I love it.
He'll talk to us and
Yeah.
we've accumulated a couple of those kind of clients where like they become friends. Like I don't know,
Absolutely.
even if
I think
Yeah.
all of my clients like are friends. Like when I'm talking
Yeah.
to somebody else, I'm like, I don't know whether to say like, oh, my client or my friend.
Yeah,
So-
yeah,
and I
yeah.
just say my friend. This person must be like, you have so many fucking friends. Like,
So many friends, and they all pay me. It's so weird.
but that's the coolest part of the industry
Yeah.
also, and it's probably why my social battery's drained by the end of the week.
All
And I
the
don't
time.
love like going out anymore at the end of the week because I like had 50 conversations. I
Uh-huh.
had 50 conversations
No,
that
yeah.
were deep, high level, and like I'm kind of done. And
Yeah,
some
you
of them
don't
were
wanna
my
talk.
friends, so
Yeah.
I got to see
and
my
valuable
friends.
ones too.
Very.
So why do
valuable.
I need to go to a bar and
Yeah.
get
I can't see over anybody. It's too much for me at this
You
age.
you
We
have
were
to
at
wear
a
heels, that's
bar
it.
once, and I'm like, it was like New Year's Thanksgiving
Yeah,
Eve.
I'm like, come on, Chris, we're gonna go to that side.
Yeah, I look,
And he goes, you could go.
yeah. I'm like, what do you want me to do? I can't even see anything. So
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm gonna get lost.
You've given us some really good insight here. We had a great conversation.
Thanks for
for
having
coming
me
back.
Wonderful to meet you.
This
Thanks.
doesn't have to
Nice
be
to
the
meet you
last
guys, too.
time, but it's not going to happen again next week. We recorded. I see the buttons and I
Perfect,
see
yeah.
everything's still on. Mike, thank you for being here with us.
Of course.
It's not the same without you, so thank you. Appreciate
course.
you. Love you.
It's my pleasure.
Cara,
Loved it.
Appreciate
Thanks
you.
for having me, guys.
Journeyman, out.